Hi guys, it's Amazing Purple Girl back with another demo. This one is The Big Hollow 1982, and I thought it looked quite interesting when I was looking for demos. Okay, just turn the music down a bit because I always do that so that the voices stand out. It says there is speech, so should be. So let's give it a go. Ma, you sleeping? Ma? I'm coming in, okay? Don't be mad. I don't reckon she left me no pie anyhow. Her things is all still here. I don't see her. Why don't I see her? It said speech volume. I'm not sure why I'm doing the voice. Why is these empty? What's going on? Ma? Hello, Ma? Oh. What is going on with Ma? Oh, it's fading. She looks a bit drunk. Looks like I'm alone. I don't know how I should feel about this. Whenever I was with her, I was sure that she didn't even like me. I guess maybe this is a good thing. Okay, interesting. No, time to get out your head, Desmond. She should be here any moment now. You'll find out what this is about soon enough. I mean, yeah, this is clearly America, but... Oh, is that what I think it is? Are those crime scene photographs? Intriguing. Looks like it's actually separate incidents, at least going by the different locations here. Hold on, isn't Lenore de facto supervisor for behavioural science at the moment? Which means this could be one of those investigations. Huh, how fascinating. I wonder if I can work anything out from these. I mean, while I'm here waiting, might as well see what I can see. It's the same what Ma had on her face. Oh no, it looks like a gag. I don't think she had a gag. Pretty different scenes, at least at first glance. So then, what is it that has Lenore looking over these two together? It must be... Ah, okay. The way the mud builds on the side, and the width too. Something big and heavy made these. A truck or trailer, perhaps. The second shoe here is clearly hers. Odd that it doesn't match the position of her body, though. Seems unnatural. The cigarette butts nearby is also rather suspicious. Was her killer bold enough to hang around and admire what he'd done? You know, come to think of it, I do have my things with me here. I could just...
Well, I've come this far.
Well, might as well do it like I was trained and keep notes. That also means making sure every detail is looked over first, though. So then, what else do we have here? Now that's interesting. A handbag means identification, something the killer would normally like to delay. So then one has to wonder, what was the relationship between victim and killer here? What about the gag? She was gagged, and with underwear too. Oh, that's what it is. Perhaps her own. This takes time and control, very deliberate. Her wrist. Definitely, yeah, look. They got the same mark. Definitely some kind of abrasion here. I would assume some kind of restraint used. So I think the fact they've both got a bare left foot and they've both got a mark on their wrist makes them connected.
Why though?
But then why remove one kind of restraint just to leave another? He's kind of talking, but not much. I've got 4 of 7. Her feet. Oh yeah, her feet. Only one shoe on. Could be that it fell off as she was dumped. What else? Her body position. Her posture here, it's awkward. I'm not sure if she simply fell this way. I have no idea why I have decided this accent. It's weird. Sorry. For her legs to be open towards the road like that seems like she's being humiliated to me. Especially if those are her knickers. Oh, her neck. I wonder if it's the same on the other one. Clear ligature mark. Strangulation is likely the cause of death. Okay.
That's that then.
I think that's what I can glean from this photo, but I'd still like to look into the other one a little more. Yeah, probably a good idea. Yep, she has. It's a strange shape, but I'm fairly sure this mark is from a ligature, thick with a circular shape of some sort on the end. Despite the beating, I would think this was strangulation that killed her. Okay. Face. The swelling and bruising on her face is really quite severe. Early onset too, so these occurred close to the time of her death. It's not quite easy to make out, but there's some kind of abrasions to the sides of her mouth. Oh, I think I see that.
Why though?
The way the blood pooled too makes me wonder, was something in place there earlier? Yeah, was it a gag like the other one? Oh, it's not the same foot, is it, actually? That's her right. Oh, that's her left, sorry. Right. Okay, wrist. Looks to be abrasions matching both arms, so she was restrained at some point then. Foot. Odd thing, isn't it, to be driving without shoes? But, this is interesting. Some kind of scratching on her soles. Okay, 2 more. Shift lever. I thought I said shirts. Shift lever. Hard to tell from this, granted, but I'm fairly sure that's resting in neutral. Okay. What else? Oh, her clothes. I'm no expert, but this combination of clothes looks off. That's not to mention the missing button. Something's not right with this. Got it?
Okay.
Okay, seems like that's everything. In light of all their details, I do wonder. Yes. There are certainly similarities, but are there enough? So then, care to tell me what you're thinking? Oh no! She not happy.
Well,
Hey, Mom, I was just,
Really?
You are Ward, aren't you? Desmond Ward?
Right.
Yes, that is me, Mom.
So then, Desmond, tell me.
Then I don't care much for repeating myself, so if you could... Oh, no, of course not. Sorry, what was the question? The photos, Desmond, what do you make of them? Is she mad at me? I can't tell. Was it the same killer? I think you'd have to suggest there's at least cause for connecting them, right? You don't sound so certain. Are you asking me or telling me? Well, the thing is, there are differences between them. It's certainly not clean cut.
Could it be?
But the similarities are there. It's hard to say, really. Hard to say if this is a serial murderer. This is the BSU, Desmond. You can use the term. It's a safe space. These serial killer profilers have been all the talk of the Bureau the last few years. An exciting new analytical approach to solving repeat offender murderers. Is exactly why I've been trying to get time with anyone from the behavioural science unit, why I was intrigued by this invitation. Only, I guess it's just that I'm not really trained on what this is about just yet. The programs here aren't big on profiling or serial homicide. Old dogs and new tricks, I'm afraid. I hear you majored in sociology, which will help some. A minor in psych too, yes?
Oh, well,
Yes, Ma'am. It was mostly, introductory classes.
Really?
Introductory. Right, but your instructors tell me it was my lectures that had you interested in the BSU. What you said about offender behaviours and how we interpret them to better understand crimes. I think this is the future of homicide investigation. To be able to find murderers just by thinking how they think. Something like that is key to my work as a future agent, Ma'am.
There is more to it, though.
But I suppose as a concept, it's as good a starting point as any. Starting point? Just a little exercise of sorts. A case we recently assisted on. I'm curious to hear what you can make of it. Come, let's see what mind reading you're capable of. Well, it's not like that, is it? Mind reading. Wait, what's happening? An exercise? A case she's already finished with? Did she want me to find the photographs? This is some sort of evaluation? Oh boy. All right, okay, keep it together, Desmond. We've already done that. So the first thing you should know is that you'll largely process this like any other case you've trained with.
It's there in the evidence.
Start from the beginning, follow the evidence and work the angles. That's the only way to understand the behaviours. And now that you're already familiar with the two victims, we can jump straight in.
Oh?
Well, I did have a little look. I think familiar might be a stretch though.
Desmond.
Come now, this is all just logic. Look, I'll even start you off easy. Take the victim on the left. How would you have set about identifying her? What would most have most likely identified her? Her face? Handbag.
It has to be.
Surely, with the handbag, right? Assuming there's a license or something similar. Good. See, it's not so hard. As it turns out, it did indeed contain a driver's licence that identified her as one Bonnie Hayes. Bonnie Hayes. Ms. Hayes' body was discovered not far from where she lived. A local found her on the shoulder of a back road. Our second victim on the right was found by deer hunters. The car she was in had been driven into a forest. She was identified through the car's registration as one Ida Rothermond, and also found not far from where she lived. Okay. One on back road, the other inside a car in a forest, both close to their homes. The killer knew them. Both late 20s and, importantly, no signs of a struggle around either body, which means these were likely not the primary crime scenes, the scenes of their murders, but rather the disposal sites, which is already part of linking serial murder cases, isn't it? The way each body has been left behind. Perhaps, if characteristically similar. Since you have the urge to impress, why don't you elaborate on that?
Oh, well,
On linking offender behaviours in serial homicide? I'm paraphrasing here, but the way an offender acts during their crime will reveal aspects of them as a person. The evidence they leave behind reveals the choices they made, and those choices tell us a lot. What they desired or feared, hated. So if crimes show repeated patterns of behaviour, repeated signs of that same personality...
Not bad.
Then it could be a repeat offender, yes. Well then. What would you suggest here? Could we claim there were similarities in how the offender disposed of each victim? The way in which these bodies were left by the offender... So, I mean, the thing about the shoes... The rest... I'm just trying to think. I want to say... Yeah, because her legs crossed over and her legs... I'm going to say are similar.
here's what I'm thinking.
On the surface, they might seem different, but I'm not completely convinced. A back road, a forest, both are relatively secluded areas, both near the victims' homes. Quite valid reasoning, I'll give you that, but tell me.
There is more to it, though.
Would you not agree that there is considerably more effort made here to hide one body over the other? That's true.
Right.
So it's a start, but I guess we need more information, more context. Well, proximity must be a fairly large factor, right? How close are they to each other?
Now you're getting somewhere.
You're certainly asking the right questions. Ms. Hayes was found close to Briar Hollow, an old and mostly defunct logging town on the northern outskirts of Cumberland. Ms. Rothermond and her car were closer to Hickory Ridge, North Tranton, a fuel junction with a few residents and not much else.
In fact...
Thing is, both were found off the same back road connecting the town to the fuel junction, barely 2 miles apart.
Oh? Really?
But then they must be connected. What are the chances? I mean, a back road between two small populaces. It can only be so many people.
Not quite, Desmond.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Desmond. This is about context, as you said, and we have good reason to believe the suspect pool could be significantly wider.
Let's see here.
Think carefully on this photograph. What do you think is an indication of why this might not just be a local offender? Ground nearby.
Right.
You're referring to the tyre tracks, aren't you? A deep and wide impression, that means a truck. And if we're starting to look into truck drivers, then
Oh.
we could be looking at anyone and
That's the
everyone
case.
who took deliveries through the area. And when you consider the main highway passing through Hickory Ridge, that's not such a small pool of suspects after all. I suppose they would have... Well, Bonnie would have her address on her licence. Maybe Ida had... This is 1982, so definitely not sat-nav. But maybe Ida had something with her address on her. So, yeah, maybe they're not local. So then where does that leave us? We've discussed 2 offender behaviours, body disposal and area of offences, but that's simply not enough.
The evidence tells the story.
What we need to consider are all of the evident behaviours together before we can call this a series or not. Now for that, here, excuse me Desmond. You'll need this notebook. Go ahead, take a look so we can get started. Okay. I've taken the liberty of simplifying the remaining identifiable behaviours down to these 5.
Let's see what you make of this.
From here, I'd like to see your ability to logically compare each on your own.
Oh, well...
Wait, just like that? But I'm not sure I...
Desmond.
Have a little courage, Desmond. Consider this a warm-up of sorts. I don't expect you to get it right away. If you want a little guidance on a term, let me know and I'll talk you through it.
It's there in the evidence.
Otherwise, review the evidence, think about what makes the most sense for each, then make your decisions. You can't see the cause of death, though. Reasonably decent, she says. How did I ever doubt myself? Lenore's a tough customer, but this is really it. A chance with the BSU.
Okay, Desmond. You can
Let's
do
not
this.
rush it, Desmond. Take your time. You don't want to fall at the starting line. Okay. Signs of overkill. What does that mean? We've discussed 2 offender behaviours, body disposal and area of event. I've done that. Well, that didn't help. Oh, right, I see. Generally speaking, force against a victim which wasn't necessary in actually causing the victim's death is known as an overkill. I don't think either of them have that. Here, I'm particularly interested in indications of emotion from the offender, rather than a controlled attack. I mean, I'd say they are similar because I don't think either of them have that. Oh, yeah, we do know how they were killed. Ligature. So cause of death, yes, definitely. Restraints used, yes. Weapons used, I mean, there isn't any. Maybe I'll say no to the staging then. Because she's not looking humiliated. Check. Let's see here.
Not quite.
Well,
Desmond.
you're close. More than half are right by my account.
Well...
If it's all the same, I'd like to look over these again then. Go ahead. This is a learning process. Okay, I'm going to say no then. But I would say that is correct, I think. Let's see here.
Not quite, Desmond.
Still not right. I don't care. Okay, allow for her expertise.
Oh, well.
I prefer not to make it a guessing
not then.
game. Maybe it's time you show me a few pointers here. Good, let's break this down then. First, cause of death. This is reasonably clear. Both victims have ligature marks along their necks.
In fact,
Strangulation is the most likely cause of death for both women, which in fact turned out to be the case. Yeah, I got that one. Now, the restraints. Both women have clearly matching marks on the wrists from restraints, but not only that.
there is more to it, though.
Okay. The bruising around Ida's mouth, the way the blood has pooled on her face. It's subtle, but it's there. Oh, I was right. Both women were also gagged during their attacks. So I did get that right. Okay. So is it this? Now, things get a little more interesting here. We know both were strangled. However, the impressions on each victim's neck, the ligature marks, differ. That is true.
If that's the case,
I thought it was just the hands. Does this mean it was a different offender? Not necessarily, but even so, the change in exact weapon is significant. Okay, so I got that wrong. This can be a difficult one to an untrained eye, but you've done well. Woohoo. There's a distinct difference in the injuries between the two, and there's reason to believe it's related to overkill.
in fact,
With Ida's bruising not having time to heal, it must have occurred during the time of her death, or just before. Was this violence used to control her? She was already restrained, so no, that's not likely. And with Bonnie having no such injuries, we can't discount this difference. Okay, so got it right the second time. And lastly, staging, another tricky one. Both bodies have, in fact, been repositioned. However, Ida's was made to appear accidental. It was staged. Yeah, hers was staged in a different way though, wasn't it? Bonnie, on the other hand, was posed. Oh, I see the difference. Okay. Positioned in a way to degrade and humiliate her.
the evidence tells the story.
One to deceive investigators, the other as ritual or symbol. Seemingly similar, but in actuality quite different. So I got that. Just a weapon. I could have got it if I had thought more. So there we have it for your first foray into linkages.
Nicely to do.
That was good work, Desmond. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, but I can't pretend I would have noticed all of that. That's quite a lot. The victims are restrained in similar ways, but we don't know if it was the same unique gag. Both are strangled, but with different ligature.
I wonder.
They are on the same road, but with all of this said, is that enough? A little more critical in your suspicions now. That's good, I like to see it. What we need here is an aspect of the offender's behaviour that is significant. Something undeniably from the same person.
Let's see here.
Let's focus on what you mentioned just now, the gag utilised against Bonnie. You described it as unique? Well, it's so deliberate. There are much easier ways to gag someone. He needs to go out of his way to do it.
Exactly.
Which means it likely fills an important need for the offender. He's driven to do it. So then, what if we can prove that this unique behaviour, the same type of gag, was utilised during Ida's homicide? Oh,
Really?
but hold on. The gag is clearly removed, right? How can we possibly know what was used? It's not always about what is seen, Desmond, but also what can be deduced.
So then, Desmond, tell me.
Think carefully. What will we need to examine here in order to know if Ida had the same gag as Bonnie? Her clothes?
Could it be?
I suppose if Ida did have her underwear removed and used as a gag, then the logical thing to examine would be her clothes. The underwear would be missing, assuming the offender kept or disposed of them.
Not bad.
Either that, or they'd be back on her, which, as it turns out, was the case. The presence of blood and saliva on the underwear gave it away. Yeah, that would. It matched perfectly to the positioning as a gag.
Ah, okay. I see.
I see. So he redressed her then? I did think something was odd about her clothing. A part of his staging process, no doubt. Right. Redressed her for the staging. The same back road, restraints, strangled, same unique gag.
If that's the case,
At this point, it's quite compelling. The behavioural links are difficult to deny. This is likely a repeat offender, and these two cases should be investigated with that close in mind. But then, despite the similarities, the victims are still so different. You know, all this time it seemed like it was the differences that made this harder to investigate, but now I think it's exactly those differences that will help find the man who did it. Oh, how's that then?
It has to be.
It's like you say, if you follow the logic of why he did what he did, it can only mean one thing. It can only mean that he was known to one victim much more than the other.
perhaps.
Interesting. You have my undivided attention, Desmond.
Well,
You're in it now. I hope I'm right about this. The differences in crime scenes suggest the killer was known to. Bonnie, because he had to strangle Ida harder.
here's what I'm thinking.
The difference is the intentionally behind... Oh. The difference is the intentionality behind Bonnie's positioning. To be humiliated like that. Okay, I got it wrong then. Maybe if he knew Bonnie, this was revenge of some sort.
Are you sure about that?
But I do believe you're overlooking details here. Did you forget the fact that there was no effort made to hide the identity of Bonnie? Ah, that's true.
Yeah,
Not
right.
particularly helpful for him if he was a known associate of hers. Yeah, but I still feel like he didn't need to put as much force on Bonnie because... Oh, maybe I'm wrong actually then. The central need for a murderer connected to a victim is to obfuscate that connection. Bonnie was presented by him like he wanted to show off what he'd done.
In fact,
He even left critical evidence of himself there. The 2 Windsor bowls he smoked standing over her.
Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense.
He didn't care if she was identified or found because he knew he couldn't be traced from her. With Ida, though, he didn't want to be seen at all. Tried to hide her, distanced the chance of being found.
there is more to it, though.
And not just that, he tried to change the narrative to distance himself further still. Here, let me see those notes of yours, Desmond. Perhaps you already noticed what I'm referring to.
Oh, well...
Notes? Well, I mean, I jotted a few things down, but I don't know if they're, Desmond, this playing coy is growing tiresome.
Right.
Yes, I mean, these were rough practice more than anything else. Well, it's not bad. You did unfortunately miss something rather significant. Well, I didn't get a choice. I was only given 6 things to find. Don't be coy, she says. But you did at least pick up on 2 other crucial details. So let's start with those. Here, hand me that notebook again. Questions answered with facts from the crime scenes. This is the foundation of any investigation.
Let's see what you make of this.
From here on, I'd like to see you apply your own observations, your evidence, to solve the questions we find. Answer this using the notes I've made. I can try that, sure.
Could it be?
But you want me to prove Ida wasn't driving the car? Like I said, you already have 2 pieces of evidence that suggest that this was the case.
It's there in the evidence.
Think on it. What are the 2 aspects you noticed that could infer she wasn't actually the one driving? Review the notes you took first. When you found the right evidence, add them here. You've done well so far. We'll see if that was just luck or not soon enough. Can I go back? Yeah. Resting in neutral. I think the shift lever then. While certainly not definitive, the lack of shoes at the very least should be raising questions for an investigator.
Perhaps.
Perhaps she prefers driving barefoot, or perhaps she wasn't actually the one driving.
Why is that?
Well spotted. If this was some kind of driving accident, then how did the shift come to be in neutral? Indeed.
If that's the case...
So despite the fact that both of these aspects could potentially be explained, together they form one key suspicion. Did Ida really drive this car into the woods barefoot and have the capacity to put the car back into neutral afterwards?
Intriguing.
This staging that went into Ida's homicide, it becomes more and more involved, doesn't it? I wonder though, you said there was something important that I missed in my notes. In a way, the most important. Great. Take a look at how Ida is positioned here, physically.
What do you think?
Doesn't something about it make it highly unlikely that she was driving? Oh, the seat.
Okay.
Oh, right, I see it now. It's where her seat is, it's so far back.
Not bad.
Indeed, better late than never, Desmond. Once you notice how far back the seat is set, it's clear that Ida could not have comfortably driven this car. Absolutely, she's nowhere near the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Right, I
Makes
see.
sense.
Whoever was driving was tall then. Taller than Ida at the very least. Not just that, actually. This staging put her in the driving seat. He went out of his way to make it look like she drove herself. So this wasn't just about hiding her.
Exactly.
Changing the narrative, taking as much attention off himself as possible. You had the right of it. This was very much about him knowing one victim more than the other. That makes 2 established ideas. We have a repeat offender, and one that was known to Ida.
So then, Desmond, tell me.
Where are you going to start this investigation? I'm sorry, me? Where am I starting?
Desmond.
Really, we spoke about this.
Right.
Right. Yes, ma'am. Well, I guess the bottom line here is learning more about Ida. Her home, her typical movements in a day, any partners she might have been seeing.
Why is that?
I'm curious, why do you think it is that you do that? Well, if we can learn more about her, it seems inevitable we'll come across the person responsible, sooner or later. I'm not talking about the case, Desmond. I'm talking about you. This defensiveness. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I follow, ma'am. You're shying away from taking the initiative, but not always. What do you think that is? Does something in particular intimidate you, Mr. Ward? Why is she... Am I intimidated? Is this some kind of test? No, ma'am, I can do this. I'm sure I can. I think it wasn't my place to assert ideas in an area where I'm still learning. But believe me, I appreciate the opportunity and I'm willing to start this. Thanks, very much so, ma'am. Right, I see. Interesting.
Back to it, Desmond.
Good, then let's get started, but I want something from you. The note-taking, drawing your own conclusions. I want that initiative from here on out. I want to see what you can do on your own, Desmond, starting with this. Okay. This is Ida's home, at least the back half that makes up her bedroom.
Let's see what you make of this.
There were some other photos, sure, but let's just say I'll be interested to see what you find here. Key. What? This is the house from the beginning. Oh, there we go. That was so good. We hope you've enjoyed this demo of the Big Hollow 1982. Look out for the full game featuring new photographs, witness interviews and coded lists, guiding you and Desmond through the thrilling conclusion of who killed Ida and Bonnie. Wow, this was really good. I wonder if any of you guys worked out the things I didn't. I was close. I was so close. If I had thought about it more, yes, I would have realised that the humiliating means that he knew Ida. And the weapon, of course, it wasn't his hands. I know I thought it was. But that's it for this demo of the Big Hollow 1982. Hope you enjoyed that. And I'll be back with more demos.